Greetings, everyone, and welcome once more to the Dracovin Empire. Are you ready to head to the world of Golarion today? The setting for the Pathfinder role-playing game system. I hope you're ready to join me today. I am your host and guide here at Dracovin. I can lead you through a gateway, through the universe, through time and space, taking us from our Earth to Golarion. We learn about a new species, ancestor of Golarion, the Xiomorn. You ready to learn about the Xiomorn and meet them? Grab my hand. Please do leave me a tip before I drag you through the porthole and lead you there. Liking and subscribing over this video side of things, on the YouTube side of things, and letting me know your experience with Xiomorn, whether you've actually encountered them, or even encountered some of their legacy. Are you ready to go? The plane of Earth. Oasis. Let's go. We arrive deep within the plane of Earth, outside of Golarion. We were going to visit Golarion first, but there are very few Xiomorn left on Golarion, and we have to go to where their source of their powers, the source of their ancient and powerful empire is. But what are the Xiomorn? Who are the Xiomorn? There are many questions that can be answered. There are many sources that talk about them and their legacy. There are 4 books in particular. Now, if we're going to talk about 2nd edition, which is around the time of the remaster project, so it's pretty open, is Rage of Elements. Rage of Elements, because it's right before the remaster project, it's kind of seen as being like, needing a little bit of updates, but pretty good. But from early editions, the Emerald Spire Super Dungeon is a great place because it's a result of something related to Xenomorphs. The Vault of the Onyx Citadel, from the Iron Fang Adventures, again deals with the plane of Earth. And of course, Planar Adventures, from earlier on, also deals with, well, hey, Planar Adventures as a planar creature, it makes sense. Let's take a look at Xiomorn. Now, this is an art from the Rage of Elements version of the book, but I'm also going to be using it for some of the other books, and I'll be kind of comparing the different versions of it that exist. Very interesting different artwork, but there's some similarities to it. So, they are a powerful civilization from the plane of Earth, and they are primeval elemental outsiders. That means they are ancient beings. In modern Golarion, they're known as the Vault Keepers, the creators of the Vaults of Orv, the basically strange vault areas deep within the center of Golarion, the Vaults of Orv. Yes, Xiomorns created the Vaults of Orv. Now, the Vaults of Orb have gotten beyond them since they abandoned them, basically. They become their own things, much the same. But yes. Anyway. They are known among the oldest life forms. They travel to young planets in the universe, conduct experiments in the natures of life and evolution. They don't really care about the indigenous life of these worlds, basically, other than they can be used in their experiments. A lot of the planets they visited have strange ruins of great value, and they hold their own unique, strange ecosystems. Think about the Vaults of Orv in Golarion's Darklands, how each of these has their own unique ecosystems deep within the planet. These are because of their experiments deep within those worlds. This is kind of the Planar Adventures version of them. So there are 2 castes of them, and both castes are towering, 4-armed creatures made of stone, with an insectile head, thorax, and upper limbs. The Vault Builders are larger and have 4 legs, while the Vault Keepers are smaller and have 2 legs. So they do have some physical differences between the 2 groups. This is from the Emerald Spire Super Dungeon. This is, of course, a Vault Keeper from that book. Basically, a lot of the history we know of Xenomorphs has been lost to Golarion's surface worlds. What we do know about them is that they were created at the dawn of time by the elemental lord, Xiomorn, with the help of a more powerful deity or some primal urge of the plane of Earth itself. Their insectile form was based on Sirazul's own image, and she created exactly 65,536 Xiomorns. after the perfect number of facets in the supernaturally sublime jewel she found in the plane of Earth. Yes. Mm-hmm. And she was imprisoned and is free now. So keep that in mind too. That she's technically a free. She did create the Xiomorns, but they don't worship her as. It's an entire question. We'll talk about this here. So she was imprisoned and defeated by the evil elemental lords. That caused most Xiomorns to be unaware of the role. Most to be unaware of her role in their creation as soon as they were spontaneously created. Again, this is why we still have Xiomorns that worship her, but the vast majority don't. When they first encountered her evil arch-rival, Arizul, they don't have any reason to fear or distrust him. Arizul showed them a vision that the race going to extinct at the mental invasion of another creature, the Yithians. Though that technically could have altered in the remaster project, but they're no longer the Yithians, but it was the Yithians earlier on. They would swap their minds and bodies with the Xenomorphs, leaving them to be destroyed in the cataclysm that should be killing the Yithians, basically. But this was basically a vision of their death. So this was Xenomorphs getting despair. Basically, Zuriel wanted some of the mythical power that Zuriel had imbued the Xenomorphs in their creation, basically giving some of their essence in creating them. Very much so, these beings were children of hers in a way because of that. So he asked them to sacrifice a core of their numbers. He wanted to basically get some of that power themselves. And he'd teach them about how to forestall their demise. Xenomorphs, they panicked. They did. They believed Zuriel. Whether or not there's truth to this vision or not, who knows? Whether or not it was deceived by Zuriel, who knows? Zuriel was taking advantage of this. In the end, they sacrificed that little bit of divinity, a little bit of mythic power, from half of them to Zuriel. Basically, this same primordial energy that was there. And they gave up this without having to destroy any of their own kind. The loss of this made the Vault Keepers and the Vault Builders. The Vault Builders keeping that core of energy left over from their creator, and the Vault Keepers now without it. Now Zuriel gave them the knowledge of the Vault Seeds, capable of creating the underground caverns infused with magical support ecosystems. And in order to basically to stave off their doom that they saw, Vault Builders used the Vault Seeds to create vaults that supported kind of various life in the planes of Earth. They cultivated them, basically found out what was going on, finding out how to survive. The plane of Earth was though too small, too limited. They needed more life forms, more races, more things. So they went into the various places in the universe, where they could have diversity of life and habitats to experiment more, learn more, develop more. Things like the Hex, one of their first creations, made from Fey Earth spirits. When they weren't very helpful with their salvations, they threw them to the Vault Builders as basically servants. Many of them escaped and became the Darrows. This is the old lore. Again, Darrows exist in the remaster project. I'll have to talk about them in their own video, whether or not they're still connected to that. They were. The Vault Builders have created these magically ecosystems throughout the universe, in a variety of life forms. Their experiments have ended in failure, and they've divulged their plans and fears of basically alerting their enemies who would overcome them and destroy them. Within Golarion, especially the Darklands, they've had a big role. They basically had some very similar interests to Agolthus, but they differed ideologically differently, and they turned to war with each other. The Xenorms are well known, a war for which the Xenorms are more well known among the surface dwellers. The cost was too much for this war. So the Xenomorns basically were like, you know what? Screw it. We're gone. We'll abandon Golarion. Agolthus, you win. The war is too much. They departed. But the thing is, the Agolthus knew how to save the Xenomorns. Yeah. The Xiomorns left, and the Agolthus basically like, we could have saved you. Our knowledge is in the direction you want to go in. Oh well. Now, a few Xenomorns have remained. deserters, lone vault keepers, tending to their posts after the departure of their race. But most of the remains and legacy is still in the Vault of Orv, deep within Golarion, ruins of a bygone age. Though still, the Xiomorn have their powerful empire and place within the plane of Earth. Perhaps it makes them some of the more powerful beings there. Perhaps in a lot of ways, still hidden rulers in a lot of ways. Though again, being primevals, there have been plenty of things that have come after them. They've lost them. So yes, Vault Keepers. And you can even think about things like the incident with the Vault Keeper that created the Emerald Spire during the Emerald Spire Super Dungeon. So, yeah. And there's the other picture from Emerald Spire Super Dungeon of the Vault Buildings. So, Xiomorns, they don't have a sex. They do not reproduce. They are not biological, and naturally live for thousands of years. They're immortal. The Vault Builders, when it approaches a natural death, it will form a crystalline generation stone, which can be retrieved and stored indefinitely while the body decays. It holds all the memories of the dead. A Vault Builder can magically build Vault Builder bodies, and putting a generation stone inside it will resurrect the dead Vault Builder. So remains are recovered and property stored, a Vault Builder can basically live forever. If a Vault Builder is killed and a generation storm is not formed, it will be permanently dead. So basically the Vault Builders not reincarnate. Basically, they, their bodies fall apart, and they basically can transfer their body with the help of another of their own kind into another body. The Vault Keepers only live for a couple thousand years. They don't have generation stones, nor can they be resurrected. So instead they use Vault Seeds to create entirely new Vault Keepers. The number of Vault Keepers, interestingly, can never exceed 32,768. Can't create more than that. Why, may you say? That is exactly half of the number that Cyrezul created originally. The number of them that gave up their power can never exceed them. And according to the vision, though, Vault Builder's immortality won't save them from doom. This is a doom that would destroy them even with their immortality. Interesting. And there's the Rage of the Elements version of it. I like the Rage of the Elements versions of them a lot. So their two main casts are very important based on their society. For the Vault Builders, they still have this aspect of mythical divine power deep within them from their creation. And they're the masters of this special crystalline magic. They're able to create and shape life and terrain with their minds. They've ruled over the Vault Keepers, who basically maintain and protect their experiments. The Vault Builders are the only ones that can make and use the Vault Seeds correctly. A Vault Keeper that tries to tap into a seed's power basically can't control its magic, and that can backfire and create things like the Emerald Spire that exists in the River Kingdoms. They use special magic pillars like Whisper Stones to communicate telepathically over between vaults, and Orb Gates, also called Vault Gates on other worlds, to teleport between the vaults. So a lot of this powerful technology, of which some remains behind, and powerful magics in the Vaults of Orv, are leftovers from Xenomorphs. Where there may be some protectors left, there may be none. Basically abandoning this and banning the vaults, leaving behind a lot of this very powerful magic. But the Vault Builders and Vault Keepers are gone now. Now, the main religion, other than those of them that do still worship their creator, is the basically somewhat worship but patronage of Azrazul, the demigod. The fossilized king basically sees the Xenomorphs as its favorite children. The Xenomorph having this being as their patron / god sometimes, Azrael originally just wanted the power for them, but you've grown to kind of like him a little bit. He's not a great divine being, but hey, you guys are great. I like you guys, You guys are fine. You guys are fine. You guys are kind of great. You kind of stay around. I like you. I like you. They venerate him. Some see him as a god, but they're his favorite. They're his favorite guys that he picked up, drew a bunch of divine power from, and, helped out a little bit. They're great guys. But there you go. Xiomorn. An interesting species because you do find them occasionally on Golarion nowadays, but most of the time, they're gone from them. You can still find them in places like the plane of Earth and out in the universe. They've gone to other planets and places. Granted, the once great powers that they had deep within the plane of Earth probably gone. There are many other inhabitants and beings that live there, from Jan merchants to crystal dragons to other beings that have taken over and have the strength and places to rule it. The various tunnels and stuff like that. But it does not mean the Xiomorns don't exist there still. The Xiomorns still have their strength and power. They are ancient beings, powerful beings, nigh immortal beings in a lot of ways, save for the when it comes to the Vault Builders. And even the Vault Keepers still have the power to keep up their numbers. Yeah, they do die, but they can create more of themselves. More individuals of that kind. Never more than a certain number. But it means as long as there are a few left over, they can rebuild their population. It's fascinating creatures that have had a very interesting story, and have honestly had huge effects on many planets and worlds that they have visited. Just look at Golarion, the Vaults of Orth, what they mean as the Vault Builders. You have to understand that as much as they are probably not big players in the story nowadays, that Golarion is far beyond their ideas and looks, their vision. They will have a lingering effect on it for probably millennia to come. The vaults remain largely unexplored. A lot of the remains from that time, from their visit, will remain. Their influence cannot be. That is why we're talking about Zero and learn about the builders of the vaults. And that'll be it for today. I hope you enjoyed me on this journey into Xiomorns. If you want to check out more of my stuff, you can always check it out live over on Twitch, where I do a lot of tabletop recordings and other stuff like that. But if you really just want to catch some stuff and you don't have time to catch me live, you can always join me over on the YouTube side of things. That's where all my tabletop stuff is uploaded. Usually every day of the week usually has an upload. Sometimes I miss a day because of editing problems and stuff like that. But basically, yes, you can catch all the tabletop stuff there. Just remember to do that, liking the videos, subscribing over other stuff, and letting me know in the comments about stuff. But if you can catch me live on Twitch, that'd be great. Let's hang out, chat a bit in between videos, talk about some other things, hang out, do some video games, games with friends too. A lot of stuff to do over on the Twitch side. Social media just gives you updates. That's all the various places. Linked below that gives you an idea of what I'm doing, when I'm doing it, all those kind of things. So you can just keep an update with that. All right, everybody. Thank you for joining me. Until next time, we dive into Golarion, somewhere else in the role-playing game systems, somewhere else in the tabletop world. I bid all of you out there a deep and wonderful farewell.